the first pick.
Very
So a
good.
first pick Scion's going to be a good one, but Thresh is definitely a worthwhile choice.
And I also love this ban. I think that Ghost, Damwon Kia, more so than a lot of other teams, are willing to pick up Senna. I think Senna is actually fairly underrated in the current meta. I feel like she's a lot stronger than teams are kind of giving her credit for at the moment. She often goes through pick and ban. There's a lot of 80 carry bans coming through here. But Ghost in particular fits really well because it also allows Beryl to be beefier because he can farm, right? He can play on a tank, and then he can still leave the lane. He can shove in the wave, just leave Ghost off on his own, who can then handle himself very well. And tanky Beryl is bad news for the rest. And we
Hecarim
also
or
have,
Scion? What do you reckon?
personally, I'd say
Ooh, Kai'Sa.
yeah, I think that's fine. I'm not as big a fan of this. I think that the Hecarim is better because what might happen now is that Nongshim picks up like Hecarim and Scion both.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't mind. However, I think Nongshim historically has shown that Peanut will much rather pick up something like Nidalee.
Or Graves, yep.
Yeah, so a Nidalee sign would also not surprise me. I think in terms of raw power, I would much rather see the Hecarim. As mentioned previously, I think it's an insane pick at the moment. It just basically has too many strengths. This is something that, yes, is amazing. Doctom's Aphelios is probably his strongest pick, and is the ones where him and Kellen have looked truly imbalanced on. But
No Thresh.
no Thresh. I mean, I don't even have to finish the sentence. You know what's happening, and that's why I love this from Damwon Kia, because there's no way did you ever first pick the Thresh here. Like, I think it's a really good pick, but it's not a barrel pick necessarily.
No, and you don't pick priority for your bottom lane, right?
Exactly.
Like,
you don't first pick Thresh. Like, I don't think that's ever the line. And I don't love this. I think Kenyon's just gonna lock in the Hecarim and just kind of.
I mean, now
run
we
all
could
over
potentially get the Hecarim Scion that we were looking for.
Or he goes for Kane, which I would also not mind because I love Kane. And
it's also the Canyon way. However, we are going to see the Hecarim. I like the Gragas flex here as well.
Oh
they
yeah,
can pick up for themselves, as this is what we wanted, right? Hecarim Scion is, it's almost like, I imagine Damwon Kia are like holding off on locking it in. They're like, but is this a trick? Could it be a trick? As Renekton was left up actually, so we're considering it, as Showmaker's actually considering a lot of stuff, and Gragas in the end will be picked up. And I actually like this. I think flexibility is very valuable.
it's flexibility, and I think more so than any of the other picks, Gragas is also just truly the most flexible, blind pickable top laner. I think Khan specifically, obviously, we've seen him like be super successful in the Gnar. Sion is self-explanatory, but now Nongshim might still waste a ban on a Sion that you're not planning to pick up. And this is something that Damwon Kia also does consistently well in drafts, is they are a team that, unlike what we saw earlier today from the Sandbox, where they pick up a Camille and a Gragas in the same rotation and basically already give away where it's going to go.
Yeah.
Now, you see Nongshim, they still feel forced to ban away. It's not the Sion, but it is the Lulu, which is, of course, aimed towards Khan, because they don't know where this Gragas is going to go. So Damwon Kia, they pick up a couple of really good power picks, comfort for their players, a counter matchup with the Hecarim into the Lilia, and a Gragas that might go to Khan, but maybe not. So the draft becomes really awkward for Nongshim, and I think for Nongshim, there's comfort, but I need to see more stuff to kind of tie this together, because right now it feels like a composition where on one hand you have the Lilia and the Gnar want to play very far forward, Aphelios wants people to come into him, right? Which that part is not too bad, but playing Aphelios without Thresh into Gragas, Hecarim,
Yeah, that's almost impossible.
you want people to engage onto you, but you don't want to be 100 to 0. This is this is the type of comp that kind of does that, unfortunately.
Yeah, you also don't want to be sent to Narnia every time you want to enter a fight, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, Hecarim ults in and then delivers someone to the Gragas, and then the Gragas puts him all the way out into the middle of nowhere. Like, it's just not really what you want. That's Ragdoll Aphelios, which is not a skin choice that you have, although I think it would be appropriate in this instance. As Sion made it all the way through. There was a Galio ban there because, of course, Nongshim had to respect the flex.
Everyone knows what this is going to be. This is going to be a Syndra lock-in.
Oh, no, we get treated to
Wow.
Showmaker's Zoe. We've actually seen comps like this before, right? Where, you know, it's largely a front-to-back team fighting composition. Zoe doesn't feel like she fits that well because she doesn't consistently land her abilities. You put Showmaker on this champion, and he does. It's a different story. So the Azir actually left up, and the Zoe was the priority. I'm sure they had every idea that Bay was going to be locking that one in, because Azir has been such high priority. Does mean that it's double magic damage in that mid lane, and, you know, Showmaker will be able to build Merc treads for a heck of a lot of value. But still, I feel like Nongshim have got, like, an idea of what they wanted to do, but without Thresh and without certain things, it doesn't really work. And then you look on the side of Damwon Kia and it's like gross. The amount of CC, the amount of backline access, and also the mid game is taken control of because Showmaker's on his Zoe.
Yeah, I think the problem with Damwon Kia is like we know how good this team is, and then you have a composition like you said, it's super well rounded, right? You can go in very aggressively, you can hard engage and dive very deep, but you can also play it slow. You can poke with Void Seekers specifically. The Zoe is going to allow you with a ton of free poke and damage, and you have a front line that can basically catch whatever Nongshim is going to throw at you really easily, and it creates kind of a situation where as Damwon Kia, you have 3 people that you can choose to feed, and they will like probably single-handedly carry the game if they get a lead, because like Canyon on Hecarim getting fed, like that's a nightmare scenario. Like I don't see how you win that game, regardless of the comp. I think that what we see from Nongshim, it leans into what they do well, which is team fighting, right? But I think actually getting to a team fight stage on a relatively even footing is an absolute nightmare. I don't think that's going to happen, and if it doesn't happen, then you do have a comp that outside of the Leona really doesn't have that much front line. Nara's more, you know, of an off-tank, like situational tanky pick, but he's not what a Sign is going to provide, which is like, it feels like we're beating a dead horse with the Sign, but like, how can you not when you see the games that we get from him?
Yeah, no, and this is the thing, like, you could draft this comp, right, and you could have, like, another tank in the mid lane, but we'd be like, oh, don't worry, they've got a damage threat on top side.
Because it's Khan.
Because Khan plays, you know, full tank Scion as far as the build, but full damage when it comes to the outcome is, all right, Sand Soldier being set up here, is Peanut being patient in the brush. Canyon's going to spot him leave, and he'll move on over. Knows that there's a ward in here, most likely. We'll see where the junglers are going to start, as Rich is going to get a little bit of poke damage onto the Scion. Khan just says, haha, I'm going home.
And I would love to see Peanut path towards his bot side. I think that you need to snowball it, because I think the top side, like, Khan is just not going to get snowballed against. Like, you might kill him, maybe, if you pay a lot of attention to the top side, and Rich can get a lot of good trades on. And then you dive, which isn't great, right? You're kind of looking for at least having the Mega Gnar and the Wall Slam available, but even then it's kind of suspect.
Yeah.
And then it's gone. Like, we've seen Rich be 4k gold down on Sign and still be completely fine. That's just not going to happen to Khan with the form we've seen from him thus far. So you want to focus on either Showmaker, but that's a post-6 kind of scenario, right? Where they actually can set up. Yeah, that... Yeah.
Oh, our stat was 8-2, but actually he's 9-2, unless they've given him this win already, which I think would be overstepping just a little bit. He hasn't actually won the game yet. Yeah. So that stat was just a little bit wrong. So Khan Scion certainly been performing very well. Having a look over here, of course, with a team that isn't doing so well here in the LCK, the stats are not going to look as great. But definitely notable. Baze Azir hasn't really got off the ground so far. Beryl is being very patient. Once again, remember back to the last series, Beryl once again played the Gragas, Suché's Gragas from Fnatic from Season 1, and was very, very good. Like, extraordinarily good. His mechanics in that series was just extraordinary. As they go forward, they grab a bit of damage there onto Kellen, but it's fine for the moment.
I think this, I don't know. I think this bot side is going to be really rough. I think not because of the strength of Dr. McCallan, but Leon at Fedios is just not as versatile as a Fresh and then a Fedios. Like it goes in very well. So if Peanut does lose a bot side, then you're fine. But generally, it's not really going to be the case. You're not nearly going to have as much option. Oh, that is, yeah. Talking about not having a lot of options. That is a, and this is. Like, just globally. But this is, again, like, this is Showmaker's Zoe. Which
yeah.
It's
yeah. As you can see, Showmaker's Zoe, everyone. 9 KDA.
You know...
the old 70% win rate. Not bad at all.
You know what the worst part is? Like, we've seen so many absurd win rates today. Like, Deft's win rate on Jigs, for example, that, like, 70% doesn't even feel that insane. Like, that's a problem, Atlas.
Not even impressed.
70% is insane. Like, this is one of the most, like, mechanically demanding, like, skill shot intensive champions, right? Like, you need basically everything is a skill shot, and like the margin between being useful and
being
not
useless.
hitting anything, doing absolutely nothing, is so much thinner than with a Syndra, right? Where you can hit your scatters, you know, you can press your R button, and you're fine.
And there are players that have had like most of their games on Zoe, but they also just don't find some of them, right?
Yeah.
Some of those games just really don't work. Showmaker's not really one of those. He's had a couple of off games here and there, and most of the time everything's pretty good. Speaking of good, Rich actually trading very nicely with Khan here. Towards the top side, Khan in his natural habitat under a turret as Scion. As Gravitum coming out there, and all the body slam just beautiful from Beryl. Denies Callan is engaged, but Dokdam does get a lot of damage over onto Ghost in the meantime, so still a good trade for Nongshim.
And that's one of the reasons why picking the Leona into the Gragas, it's just... It doesn't completely negate what you're able to do, right? Like, you're still able to counter-engage very well. You still have the value that you will get with your Solar Flare, but just, like, the fact that you basically can never Zenith Blade if the Gragas is awake is just... That's unfortunate. Again?
Yeah. Callan goes in. Oh, Gravitum still doing some work, though, as Ghost copping some auto attacks. Beryl down to 150 as Peanut is wrapping around. Beryl takes a drink. We'll see whether he's going to survive this one. The bowling ball does go wide as Peanut has to flash to get out, and the Hecarim just munches on him. Now he's looking for the rest of them as Callan taking a fair bit of damage, and Showmaker turns up with his Strikebreaker, misses that bubble, unfortunately, but Dokdam does take the paddle star to the face. And yeah, Canyon's still very low on health, but they're going to tidy this one up. That is another kill going on over. Showmaker locks down the Leona. Goodbye, Bay. Ghost will take that kill. And yeah, this is a go next situation if ever I've seen one, to be honest. Good old Chronicler, because that was a disaster for Nongshim.
Damwon Kia is so good. That's so good.
I just loved the galloping pony just majestically diving into the backline, executing whoever he wants to. Let's have a look at it again.
I don't want to. Like, I would like to watch the rest of this game unfold. And even though the interruption comes from the Zenith Blade, there's still a lot of damage available. And this is the power of Dokdam on this pick, but it's like you pre a lot of the spikes here. Peanut just, I don't know what that was. Like, you miss your bowling ball. You go in, and the fact that Beryl and Ghost still are alive here, Kane starts snowballing. While Showmaker misses this bubble, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter as much, because the main thing is keep him in the middle, right? Like, so that you can keep fighting, because you know that you always win this. But then the fact that you also play it this well, and that you're able to just keep everyone alive.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, this game was going to be hard anyway. Now it's extraordinarily hard. Canyon 2-0-2.
What did I say, Atlas? Who can you not feed on Hecarim? Like, what is not allowed? I mean, what is your one thing you cannot do?
I mean, don't feed Canyon is a thing, and don't feed Hecarim is also a thing. So, like, I don't know which thing is the most powerful thing, but they're both a thing at the same time, so I guess we'll never know.
Like, they amplify each other. It's way worse, because I've seen this before.
Oh, no. That's a Monked W if ever I've seen one.
Oh, my God. And, like, the problem is, and this is why I think in a normal game, we wouldn't get so worked up over this, and we would, like, you know, like, there's still a really good team fight, there's Wombo combos available, right? Dokdam and Callan are a super strong bot lane. The problem is that with Damwon Kia, I don't know, it just feels like they're on a whole different level. When you give them leads like this, they don't lose.
Khan just got a flash after he was just getting smacked around, okay.
He has Ignite.
Yeah, he has Ignite. He also still has Flash available, puts up the shield. Rich in Mininar is actually probably more valuable in this particular instance, as he doesn't quite find the E there. So Rich still going to be set up, denies the cannon, very nice. Okay.
I thought that was going to be
a lot of excitement.
Not a lot of action.
Yeah. But remember, like, Rich flashed. So in the end, I guess,
it's definitely worth.
Slightly more of an advantage there for Khan, who is the classic Scion 10 CS behind, which we've gotten pretty used to.
Yeah. Especially in Tenalia, you're completely okay with this. I thought actually that Dokdam and Callan really big CS lead, but I think it was a big wave that they were stacking. Because now it's still a wave, roughly, but it's not as big an issue as it might otherwise be. And playing Aphelios is one thing, right? Like Dokdam's Aphelios again, super good. Playing Aphelios without Thresh is a little bit harder. Playing Aphelios without Thresh into a fat Hecarim is...
We already mentioned this, right? Like, it's Hecarim, Scion, Gragas. I mean, what are you gonna do?
I think the Scion, honestly, like, he probably shouldn't be able to make it. Canyon does need help here, though. You need to respect, buddy, but there is help.
Yeah, Khan gets in. Rover, this player is going to miss, as now we're looking to just try and take down Rich. He gets booped back there by the devastating charge. And there's the ulti, and Canyon will finish that one up. Yeah, Rich really had no right being there. No support from the rest of his team. Full priority going over to Showmaker here, as you can see. And he's using that to steal away Krugs, because why not?
I don't know, man. Like,
this is crazy,
man.
right? Like,
this is just...
The thing that I'm feeling, right, is we were looking at today as, you know, you've got 3rd place versus 9th, and that should have been a stomp. This is, you know, closer to like 1st place versus 7th or 8th at this point in time. So theoretically, the teams are the same distance away from each other in the standings. This is like night and day in comparison to the amount of control that Damwon Kia has over this game.
I don't know what this is. Peanut is not in position, nor does he really want to fight the Fat Hacker in when he's like down 20% health. Yeah, I don't know about one. I am just like you can hear the defeat in my voice and in my spirit, because can I remind you what the win rate? Do you remember that stat? What was it again? Like the exact percentage, 10% or at 10 minutes, like when they were ahead? What's the win rate?
It's I think it's the 3-digit number.
Yeah,
it's a 3-digit.
Yeah,
I can't remember which one. I can't remember which one.
Oh,
it is 3 digits though. As Callan's going to flash in, Solar Flare's good. They're going to try and lock down this Gragas. Beryl, you're dead. Sorry, mate. This ain't going to do it. He did waste a bit of time there, as Peanut does show up as well, but he won't be gifted with an assist. So, Docton does get one. It's definitely good news, as Khan walking slowly towards Rich and misses the devastating smash.
You know?
As Bubble connects and Bait gets taken down to a 1/4 health, 1/3 health, something like that.
Actually, super well played. And this is kind of the... I guess, okay, when you make playlists like this, sorry, Dr. Callan, you heard me. I'm apologizing right now. Like, should have counted on you guys to find random 2v2 kills. Not something that happen often, right? But this is one of the things that even when Nongshim didn't look good in the earlier weeks, or when they like looked very hot and cold, Dr. Callan have been super consistent.
I agree. I think this is definitely the high point for Nongshim.
Look, and this is just... You don't give him the opportunity to ever go for a body slam, right? Like, this is just beautifully played. Thank you very much. Where maybe if Barrel 6, like, I don't even think it matters. Rich is dead again.
Oh no. Okay. Well, he's going to have to flash his Khan, as now Canyon looking to try and take him down. We'll have to avoid some boulders, but actually, I say we'll have to. He doesn't really. Khan just going to be able to pick up this kill, and now Peanut is going to be running away, not going to be able to grab his Krugs. He does have a sleep available, but I don't know what he's going to be able to do here, as he's just skipping around trying to get some work done, but not going to be able to get anything. Both of them just spinning around these quadrupeds, trying to figure out the jungle. And yeah, Canyon, he'll get out of there. He's running pretty quick.
You know, why do you try to contest the Fed Hecarim, buddy? That's not happening.
This is still 100% kill contribution, 303 Hecarim on the map with his chem tank already built.
Yeah. You know, I don't know. Like, I want to talk about, like, and like, that's the thing. I think it's kind of unfortunate, because I legitimately feel like Dr. Callan, they're super good, right? Like, Rich, it's a bit awkward. Like, I think that this second one, not as egregious as the first one, but still a situation in which you don't have any help, you don't have any vision. Just not really allowed to be this far up. And I think you can also get out here at this point in time, right? Like, why are you opting into this trade? When you don't have vision, you're not allowed to. And it's one of the criticisms that we've had for Rich for a while. His team fighting strengths and his prowess outside of lane has often been cited, but we also need to be recognizing, like, his laning phase is just, he dies often for what seems like no real reason. And that's not something you can afford against a lot of teams in the LCK. It's something that against Damwon Kia is, again, it's 100% win rate. 100%. Like, I can't get over how dumb that stat is. And this is kind of the problem with this team, is that we've seen them be in deficits and still feel like they're in complete control. And when they actually do get ahead, it's just, it doesn't, I don't know. Like, it just, they do everything so well and so cleanly. And the big difference between this team and a lot of other teams is just how cohesive they are.
Yeah.
Like, how everything feels so controlled. You never have the idea, like, what do you do? Like, you know, a mistake left or right, like Beryl getting caught there in a 2v2. It's nice, but does it really lessen the feeling of inevitability?
not really. And also, like, when Beryl gets caught out like that, you saw Ghost, he's out of there. Beryl's not trying to escape, bringing the enemies closer to his AD carry, so it's easier to get a double kill. Like, they cut their losses and they get out. I think it's like, one of the best things about Damwon Kia is the fact that they make decisions quickly and decisively. And I know decisions decisively is a bit silly of a thing to say, but I think you understand what I
actually, you know, I called you out earlier. I think this one is that's actually fair.
Okay. Nailed it, thankfully. I'm getting it right. That's some drifting really nicely done there from Khan. I didn't know you could turn that corner that quick, to be honest. But
listen, my man has played Need for Speed. Like,
yeah. I think he's actually... Was Khan on the dev team for Sion? He's like worked out all of the angles, actually.
Oh.
Well, Beryl's going to come on over here. We do have a bit of a steal being attempted. Great double body slam as the cast is good too. Beryl by himself actually getting about half the health bar of two of these players, but he might still be punished for it as Emperor's Divide is going to send back the Gragas. He's still alive, dies eventually as the Azir will be sacrificed for it, but a Moonlight Vigil is thrown in here by Doctor. He's going to explode, takes a fair bit of damage from that Paddle Star as the bubble will connect as well. Showmaker, can he actually land this one? The answer is no, as Rich will get smoked by Canyon, and he's looking for even more. Kellen gets towards the backside as these are the short-range weapons that you want, but it's a triple kill now for the horse. Make it, no, not quite a quadra, unfortunately, as the ace is completed by Showmaker. By the way, Ghost is bottom lane!
Oh, nothing personifies Damwon Kia more than this. What do you
6-0-5
What do you say to this, Atlas? Like, I don't know. Damwon, listen, this is the best jungler in the world, and you see it right here. I'm not even joking. Like, that is actually insane. If you get a replay, like, watch Canyon's movement rather in that fight. And yes, he gets augmented by Showmaker's eerily, accurate Zoe, right? But,
yeah.
like, I think the problem with Damwon Kia, when you're
I love Beryl half-healthing Peanut as well.
Oh yeah, this is not okay. Yeah, that's just a little bit of hesitation here. Well, Beryl goes back in, which will seal his fate, but I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. That's just the bait, right? They just want to fight. But I think the problem with Damwon Kia is that once they get the lead, they don't give it away. And look at how Canyon, he drags away Rich. And I'm zooming in on him because it's like Khan and Showmaker like are pretty self-explanatory. He picks up one, then he goes in, picks up another one.
And now they're possibly looking for another one as Doctarm is real dead. Kellen also going to get knocked up and smashed. Zenith Blade does get him further towards his demise as Canyon's running after two people by himself. Double kill for Ghost, who is now 3-0-2. And unfortunately for Canyon, I believe he is... No, he hasn't. No, he's still at 100%. Never mind. Okay, yeah. It's probably one of your easier pog votes, my dude.
Oh no!
May as well write it down now. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Atlas.
Do you want me to put it on the shelf? I can just go put it on the... Here,
you should put it on the shelf.
Yeah, I'll go put it on the
Listen,
the pog vote shelf. It's just over here.
Listen,
we've submitted it.
Yeah. My timing career has been great thus far. You know, like I just want to reiterate that. Like, it's been really good.
Yeah. What you're indicating, I assume, is that we don't need to talk about this game anymore.
I'm glad
pretty donezo.
I'm glad you picked up on that. And
I wonder who had a win rate at 10 minutes, because there's a 3-digit number that we were talking about before. That might be coming true right now.
I don't think we've recalled what exactly it was.
Yeah, no, I can't quite remember.
Listen, I see a 10 stacks Magi's. Maybe that's a hint. Maybe we need to do something. Maybe add another 0.
Yep. Yep. Well, I mean, if Showmaker gets it to 25, that's when we're going to be really happy. Okay, now I need production to tell me what Ghost was actually talking about. As the Creamcasters are losing their minds right now, by the way.
He's just clappy clap, great work, my team.
Yeah, all right, yeah, well, he was just cheerleading.
Over.
He was cheerleading during the team fights. Speaking of team fights, we may have another one as Canyon is inside the base. That's a flank if ever I've seen one. The cavalry most certainly is in, as now he's helping out Rich, trying to get some work done. Beryl going down low once again as Khan tanking up a turret to the best of his ability, and the ability's pretty damn high. As Canyon just executes the Aphelios. Is this game just over right now? The minions take care of the turret.
Oh, no.
Somehow Khan is going to die just to a turret mostly, I think. I think he tanked a turret for about 408 minutes. And Damwon Kia taking inhibitor at 18:30.
I know, honestly, as Nongshim, like, you just gotta laugh this one off. Like, you're just gonna... What are we looking at here? As this is like way earlier. It's just... It doesn't matter. Like, we can explain this, but like the problem at this point in time is there is just no conceivable situation in which Damwon Kia are going to give away this lead. And this is the point I was trying to make earlier before we got interrupted by this and then interrupted by another play, is that the scariest thing about Damwon Kia, they don't give away a lead. If any other team does this, like, you think they're sprinting it, but they're not. They make it work every single time.
Canyon, like, boops Stock down back. He's like, hold on over there for a second. I need to go and deal with this dude. Get in my back line.
Listen.
And now I've prepared it from earlier, and you can die.
One thing, you had to play from base. You know, like, we won the finals, but that wasn't enough. We need more. I need my redemption play.
Oh,
and he finds it there. He still has 100% kill participation, Atlas.
What the hell is this? 809 Hecarim. It's almost 20 minutes, by the way.
He has free items.
Oh my goodness. This is actually the quintessential moment in the game where you have a look at the gold to see whether or not it's over. If it's 20 minutes and there's a 10k gold lead, the win rate is extraordinarily low. That was cute. Rich hopped out of the way of that. Very nicely done. Nice. You're probably still dead. As yeah, Ghost is going to come on over.
Okay.
He's avoiding a lot of these abilities, but unfortunately heading the wrong direction as he wallops the wrong way, tries to tidy up the minions, of course. That looked a little bit comical, but he was just trying to get rid of the minion wave as best he can. As let's have a look at Canyon. That was the only kill so far that Canyon wasn't a part of.
I was about to say, that's the real...
Inexcusable.
God.
Bubble, what? That was blind.
He's not in this kill!
This is like literally the essence of, oh my god, and caught teleporting. Give it to Barrel. That would have been really funny if he came over and stole it with a barrel. All right, Showmaker's going to be able to grab that one.
Barrel on his barrels.
Oh.
I like it. I love it. So do you want my analysis on what happened there? Are we good?
It was, I think blind bubble is about enough.
Look at
18 stacks, by the way, on the Jais.
Look at Peanut's face. He's like, hey, this is over.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
He actually said in an interview before the game something like, please, Khan, go easy on me. And Khan was like, I want to kill him the best I possibly can. And speaking of which, Canyon's diving in yet again. Here's the train for support, as we've got two different modes of transport from different eras trying to battle it out together, but the horse is going to be left to the dust. He's able to get a bit of that health bar back as now Rich trying to run away. Bay here to try and set up as now the Scion crammed against the wall goes desperately trying to get to a position where he can actually do some damage, but he's not quite able to as Peanut gets exploded for about a bajillion damage. Okay. And the zombie Scion is going to be thrown forward. Bay still with the ulti available. So we have queued the yakety sacks just a bit. But the thing that I do want to draw your attention to is the fact that Damwon Kia will be able to grab this Infernal Drake with the fact that they are just so far ahead when it comes to map control. Okay. That was a flash. That was the one that he had from earlier. As Bay is still limping away from this one. As now in goes Rich. Everfrost going to deny him. Void Seeker, not going to be followed or anything like that, as another bubble is going to connect. Sleepy versus Sleepy, but I think I know where my money is at when it comes to, you know, who's going to get that award.
I think the real loss here is that Damwon Kia did not, they could have possibly gone for shortest game. That was blind. Yeah, there's no vision.
I mean, there's no vision. I assume he saw him walk into the brush, but...
I think they figured that he might still be there, but like, I don't even know.
Yeah. Just really unfortunate if you're Bay. As now this is once again, you know, like we were talking about, different modes of transport comparing one another. The horse gets replaced by the train. It's beautiful. It's a history lesson at the same time.
I want to break a lance here for, not Lance Hecarim, but I want to break a lance for just the power that we see here from Nongshim, even though they're, you know, down 13k. There's still good moments, I guess. I'm trying to look for a silver.
Yeah, listen, you don't do that anymore. You don't need to do that anymore.
Listen, coming into this game, you were talking about silver linings, Atlas, and I took
no,
it to heart,
no, I've already given you the silver lining, and the silver lining is what happens after this.
Oh, yes,
you know, like this happens, right?
Yeah.
And then they don't have to go through this again, unless they make it all the way through the playoffs.
He's not gonna die.
Khan's being surrounded Let's see whether he can actually die, as he does have Train available, and he's going to use it, I believe, as Doctor is going to get devastatingly charged out of his Fountain, which is a new one. Khan still limping away from this one, but two members trying to fight him while their Nexus turrets are being obliterated is probably still a win for the Scion. I'm not going to lie to you. This game is over, ladies and gentlemen. A absolute shellacking 24-minute cavalcade as Canyon spends a bunch of time on the Fountain for some reason, just likes it up there, I guess, with some turret pretending to be a Nexus turret, but it ain't, and that is the end of that one. Sub 20.